where would you rank the great liberal threat facing the world? Climate change.
Climate change?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's another discussion.
But you just said Islam is number one problem facing the world.
I think number one, I mean, if you want to say number one, there's North Korea, there's a resurgent China and Russia, very aggressive China and Russia. I think we're pretty much evenly divided between Islam, North Korea, China, and Russia. All of them are big problems, and I don't know which bomb's going to go off first. But global warming, climate change, I have a lengthy theory about that if you want to discuss it. But I don't think it's a problem.
Okay. I want to end this because I'm getting my ass kicked on Islam again.
Sorry.
That's all right. You're well informed, and I'm less well informed. The one more thing I want to bring up, which is, I still think that your head's been filled with the very worst arguments against Islam, and that there are alternate arguments, which I don't know because I'm ignorant, that make your argument that can counter your arguments to some extent.
Well, if you're insane, just open up a newspaper, for God's sake.
Yeah, but all right, I like math. I like statistics.
Yeah.
And, all right, maybe this is a dumb or a naive way of looking at things, but like World War II and the whole 20th century from time to time. World War I was bad, World War II was bad. Bad for people in China after the Communist Revolution, bad for people in Russia after the Bolshevik Revolution, and for ever since, basically, where you had, I mean, the 20th century was wholesale slaughter by the tens of millions. Okay. What we have right now is acts of terrorism going off like, popcorn in a popcorn popper. Pippity pappity pappity poopity poop. A pretty steady, every week or two, some asshole kills some people somewhere in the world.
Okay.
Plus, I'm sure the daily acts or hour-to-hour acts of cruelty perpetrated by ISIS in the areas it controls.
Thanks to Obama's withdrawal of the troops from Iraq.
Yeah, except we could also say Obama flew 14,000 bombing runs, but that's a whole other argument to have.
Well, apparently it was incredibly ineffective.
Yeah, but no, they've lost half their territory. They've lost a bunch of their people. We've blown up a lot of them and their shit.
They killed tens of thousands of people
they did.
While Obama golfed.
Trump,
He's been in office 3 weeks.
And he's played 3 rounds of golf. Obama didn't play golf until 4.5 months in.
Okay.
All right, if you want to bring up golf.
Okay, the withdrawal was in 2011. Go ahead.
Now, wait, I've been derailed by golf. But anyway,
okay, so you're saying we just have a little terrorism. What's wrong with that?
No, I'm not saying
it's not it's not as bad as war between tanks and artillery and big, huge mass battles, right?
I am saying that, and I'm not saying that we should just relax all standards and let people run free, which is not what we were doing anyway. With it taking 2 years for somebody to get through immigration.
You're saying what? That
I'm saying that some things have the potential to be fairly apocalyptic.
Yes.
Some of the things you mentioned, like North Korea setting off a bomb would change the nature of life in the world. Iran setting off a nuclear weapon. Any of the crazy fuckers doing that stuff.
Okay.
But and we should do whatever we can within reason to prevent terrorism from occurring within our borders and in the borders of our friends.
Okay.
But we're gonna disagree about how the extent to which whatever reasonable is.
Reasonable? When we were growing up, there wasn't any terrorism. This has all happened because you guys are weak.
When we were growing up, there was terrorism.
In 1972, there was the PLO attacking the Israelis
in the
Olympics. That was the first time, and after that, there was hardly any. Americans could walk down the street without any fear. Same with Europe. This is all happening because liberals like you are demoralized and won't fight. You don't even believe it's happening. You think there's an acceptable amount of terrorism you can live with. I can't live with any of it.
There's not an acceptable amount. Well, shit, I don't know. Hold on.
I want to go back to the time when we could live and go months, years, without hearing one word about Muslim terrorism. This has all happened because of you guys.
I don't think so. We should go upstairs and look at the computer on break. Let's break now and take a computer look.
Oh, God. What are you going to find on the computer?
Instances of terrorism in the world historically. Let's just find some bar graphs.
Okay. If you need to do that, I'm not going to argue with you. It's just ridiculous.
Maybe it's not.
Rick, we're experiencing an avalanche of terrorism. It's because your side didn't fight.
Let's break.
Wait. We don't need a break. There's two things that caused the rise of terrorism. One, Jimmy Carter let the Ayatollah Khomeini take over Iran. Iran became the greatest sponsor of terrorism in world history. Two, Barack Obama pulled the troops out in 2011 when Islam was on its back.
Let's take a look at some bar graphs.
And by pulling out the troops, ISIS was able to form and fight unmolested.
Let's go to the computer. Let's see some bar graphs.
If he wants to, he's fine.
All right.